Hey everyone, Tanya Taylor here. Welcome to this week's live. In this week's live, I'm going to be talking about whether or not you can really make money in the stock market, or is it just like a myth, or only certain people can make money in the stock market. It's not a myth, and anyone can make money in the stock market if they really learn how to do it. And one of the things that I want to show you is how the Dow Jones has performed over the past 5 years, because I know you hear a lot about the stock market being down, and people are afraid to get in the market. And sometimes they have good reason to be afraid to get in the market, because if you invested during a certain time, if you didn't know how to invest properly and you lost money, then you kind of become, like jaded, like, yeah, I'm not investing in the market. You're only going to lose your money. My portfolio, I've been investing since 2002, 2001 when I started the investment club. I can't remember what year it was, but it's a long time ago. And I've watched my portfolio just take off leaps and bounds. That being said, have I had losses? Absolutely. I have had losses. I have had stock that went to zero because I held on to the stock for too long, aka Blockbuster, even though I knew that the company was a dying company, the industry was a dying industry, because Netflix was coming in and now Hulu. But sometimes we put emotions into our investments, and so we lose money. And I knew better. So even as a seasoned investor, sometime I'll still look at my portfolio, and I will still sometimes want to hold on to a company because I've invested in it and maybe it's in a loss position and I don't want to lose money, because I never ever want to lose money. So, you know, setting up investment goals are important. Setting up, your threshold for losses is very important, because then that keeps you grounded. And no matter how emotional you get about whether or not you lose money or gain money, you will still have that grounding, and you will still have that, you will go back to what your investment goals are and your threshold for losses, to help you to determine whether or not you want to sell a stock or not. Now, I specifically want to talk about the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, and just show you and show you, like, walk you through it, how it works, and how people make money. So I'm going to share my screen. And for those of you who don't know what the Dow Jones Industrial Average is, it is the index that is used to measure how the stock market is doing, and it's made up of the 30 most active stocks on that are traded on the New York Stock Exchange. And whenever you hear like that the market is crashing or the stocks fell, this is usually one of the biggest measure of what they're using. Now, there's also the NASDAQ, which I'm not going to go through, but that's the tech companies. And it also looks at, like the largest tech companies, how they're trading. So for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, this is a 1 day. So the way that you read the chart, let me see if I can make this bigger. The way that you read the chart is that you could look at how it's performed over 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 5 month, or year to date, which means we're now in May. So it would be whatever May, and then 1 year and 5 year, right? So if I go to 5 year, it's not allowing me to go to 5 year. Let's see why here. I hope that you guys can see this. We're now in April. If we go to 5 year, you will see that the Dow Jones started off at 25,000, right? And as of today, it's 33,808. So that means it's gone up almost 10,000 points. Here's the exact amount, 9,497 points. It's gone up for the year. But you'll see here that it's going, anytime you see this dip, it just means that overall on that day, the market, they call it the market, that it just means all the stocks cumulatively went down that day. And each time you see it going up, it went up. So if you notice in that fateful day in 2020, the stock market was going up and up, right? And then boom, By March 20th, right around COVID, it crashed. And the reason why they said it's crashed, you see how significant the stocks fell in a short period of time? That's when they said the market crashed. But if you were holding stocks back here, right, in 2018, or yeah, in 2018, your stocks would have still been going up after 2020, because you notice the market start going back up again. It goes down, it peaks and valleys, but overall, the market is up 30, up to 33,000. So it's up 9,000 points. What does that mean for you, the average investor? Basically, what it means is that you now holding your stocks may have gain in some stocks and you may have losses in some stocks. It doesn't necessarily mean that all your stocks were in a gain position. Just like even when the market crashed, it didn't mean that every single stock that you own was in a loss position either. There may have been a couple that were still in a gain position. So when people ask the question, can I make money in the stock market? The answer is yes, because generally over time you will see that stocks have gone up. If someone says, though, can I lose money in the stock market? The answer too is absolutely yes, you can, even when the stock market has gone up, because it depends on the stock that you own. So, for example, if I went out and I said, okay, I'm going to buy a bunch of companies. I'm going to buy Apple, I'm going to buy Google, I'm going to buy Macy's, I'm going to buy JC Penney, and I'm going to buy Pfizer. So I have 5 stocks, right? Even though the market went up in total, it's possible that maybe Macy's didn't perform so well, because Macy's is in an industry that one could argue is a dying industry, and they haven't been able to innovate, and therefore their stock price have not performed well over time. So even though the market went up, Macy's stocks went down, and therefore in total I've lost money. And if you were to agree that Macy's is in a dying industry and the stock may not continue to rise, then that's where you would get to the point where you say, you know what, I'm going to sell Macy's stock, even though it's in a loss position, because I think it's only going to continue to be in a loss position. But if you bought a stock like, let's say, Google, and you feel like, you know what, Google is so synonymous with just doing a search on the web, and Google is in so many other industries. So I think Google will be around for a long time. So even if you bought Google and it's in a loss position, meaning the stock price went down, you may say, I'm still going to hold on to Google because I believe it's going to continue to go up over time. So you as an investor, the key thing that you would need to do is be able to research and analyze a company to determine whether or not you think it's a good investment to put in your portfolio. But as you look here, the type of companies that you want to put in your portfolio is the ones that are driving the Dow Jones average up, or the ones that you see trending upwards over time. Many people will start investing. They'll use Robinhood or they'll use other apps, and they'll just invest, and they don't really know what they're investing in. I always recommend to people to learn how to invest, learn how to analyze a company. And that's why I created a course that is specifically and only for investing in the stock market, to teach people how to invest in the stock market the right way, so they don't have to be second guessing and they don't have to be wondering whether or not they are investing in stocks that's going to go up all the time. Does that mean you're going to only invest in stocks that are going up? No. You'll probably invest in some stocks that go down, but on average, you will understand how to analyze the stocks to determine if you should put that in your portfolio. And what you will end up doing is if you do it the right way, you will have many, many, many more stocks that are in a upward trending position than in a downward trending position. But you can clearly see from this chart that you absolutely can make money in the stock market. It's just a matter of, what kind of analysis you do that's going to get you there, because that analysis is what's going to help you to determine what you're going to put in your portfolio. As I mentioned in other live sessions, I do have a masterclass on Saturday where I go in much more detail in some of the things that you want to look out for when you invest. And I also have a complete course that will take you from 0 to 30 days. You will become pretty confident in making decisions around investing, or actually, you will start investing. I don't think you'll become confident then, but then you'll just start building your confidence in how to invest in the stock market. So if you're interested in learning and wanting to grow and wanting to build, then reach out to me and we can talk about how you can join me in starting to invest in the stock market.